If you're looking to improve your captaincy selections this season, whether it's to boost you up your mini leagues, your overall rank or your points in general, then you've come to the right place. Last week we captained Kevin De Bruyne, who got 8 points. Now I feel a little bit cheeky putting it in green, but if you go on the Premier Fantasy Tools website and go to the Captain Analyzer section, they put everything 8 and above in green and 6 and below in red. Anyway, let's look to improve that this week. We've got 3 players on the shortlist. You can call them the Holy Trinity or DFS if you like. I'm happy to own all 3 of them in my fantasy team. You've got Kevin De Bruyne, who faces Southampton away from home, Bruno Fernandes against Leeds at home, and Salah against Crystal Palace away. Let's have a look at the underlying stats for these 3 world-class midfielders. First of all, I just want to mention that I am recording this on Thursday afternoon in the UK. Fernandes hasn't yet played his match last game week, but obviously I need to record it early enough to get it out in time so you can watch it. We've got the stats per 90 minutes, so it's easy to compare the players. Going off the non-penalty expected goals per 90 minutes, Salah and KDB take the lead on this one. KDB also takes the lead with Bruno Fernandes on the expected assists per 90 minutes. And obviously for the non-penalty expected goal involvement per 90 minutes, De Bruyne wins that as well. But you can see by his goals per 90 minutes that he is lacking goals this season, unlike Bruno and Salah. That is really letting his return rate down. The other 2 players average over 1 return per game, and there's only 0.01 difference between Salah and Bruno. Even though there's not much between the return rates, Salah has the better underlying stats because in FPL you get 5 points for a goal, with them all being midfielders, and 3 points for an assist. So what about the opposition? Well, there's actually not much between the clean sheet odds this season. There's only 3% difference in chance. Southampton and Palace have round about the same defensive stats, whereas Leeds have the second worst expected goals conceded and conceded in the league. And this is obviously something that really benefits Bruno. Let's compare the probability. I just want to mention that the odds are from Fantasy Football Hub, so the points predictions will add up with the odds a little bit. They are tipping Salah as the best captain by 0.8 points this week. But as you can see, there is a discrepancy between the Fantasy Football Hub and Fantasy Football Fix points projections. Fix are tipping Bruno by 2.3, which is by quite a margin. They've also been more strict with the other 2 players on the list as well. At this point, I'm going to rule out Kevin De Bruyne. Aguero is back in the City side, he's lost penalties and the other 2 players are on penalties. He's barely scoring this season, he's tipped to get the lowest points by the Hub and the Fix websites, and he's blanked in the last 2 matches. This week it's between Bruno and Salah, and there's not much between these 2 candidates, so if you don't own one, just go and captain the other. So out of these 2 fine players, the player that I'm tipping as the best captain for this game week as the only home fixture on the shortlist is more creative than the other player. The team he's facing has conceded more penalties than the other player's team's opponents. The team he's playing against also has the second worst expected goals conceded and goals conceded this season in the Premier League, and I agree with Fantasy Football Fix's points projections. So this week, I believe the best captain is Bruno Fernandes.